Hey everybody. So I wanted to take a few moments out here with my tree, just relaxing. It's a beautiful day. And I wanted to share with you guys about havening. You may have heard it. You've probably seen me talking about havening more than a few times. But havening is a fairly new approach to therapy. It's a psychosensory approach, which means it is a physical, a touch-based approach, but it's non-invasive, which is great. It's something that you can be trained to do self-havening as well. And in essence, it eradicates trauma. It's pretty straightforward. It's deceptively simple in its nature. In essence, when we experience a traumatic event and there are certain criteria that are involved in those events, the cells in our brains change physically to accommodate the electrochemicals that are that trauma, that information that comes through. So they get kind of wedged open, glued open by a molecule, which means those cells in the emotional part of the brain are wedged open indefinitely. When I first tripped over havening, I kind of blew it off. But then as I learned more about it, and that the reason why people with PTSD, long-term anxieties, things of that nature, the reason why they're unable to get rid of it is because this is a physical change. It's not just a shift in perspective, which I work with people all the time with hypnotherapy, but it's a physical change. It's like me, or it's like you breaking your legs and then me expecting you to run a marathon. You're going to say, Brian, you're out of your mind. My legs are broken. I can't stand up. Well, now imagine that those legs are broken for good, that there's something going on that's keeping those legs from healing. That's what happens to our brains when we experience that trauma. And so we're yoked with these horrible feelings, and that cluster of cells in the brain, in the amygdala, the emotional center of the brain, they're geared towards it all the time. Havening, it focuses on nerve clusters in the body that release different brain waves, which release different chemicals, electrochemicals in the brain, which kind of do a factory reset. Like I said, when I first heard about it, I blew it off. I thought it was just woo-woo, didn't have time for it. Then about 2-3 months later, somebody who I respected in the field of hypnotherapy mentioned it in passing on a video or something I read, saying that havening will revolutionize the field of mental health. And I have to say that I started to do the research and then I was hooked. Once I understood the science behind it, then it all came together and it all made sense why people with trauma can't just get over it. And how many times have we heard that? And moreover, the traumas that we experience are as various as there are, each of these leaves on this tree. And the traumas affect us all in different ways, but havening is able to address that. It's pretty cool. Now, there's kind of the traditional havening, event havening, where if you work with a certified havening practitioner, we can help you deal with that and do the factory reset to those cells. But there's also self-havening, which helps create new neurons, new brain connections to kind of hardwire those things in. So they've been working with students back east and helping them improve reading skills and other academic skills, cope with bullying better, getting over bullying. It's some pretty exciting stuff, and I am really fortunate to be involved with it. I went back to New York about almost 2 years ago, and I trained with Dr. Ron Rudin, who kind of sussed this out of all of the theories that were out there, And I trained with him back in New York and his brother, Dr. Steve Rudin, who uses it in his dental practice, and they kind of honed it into what it is. And it's really a fascinating, a neat approach to feeling better. If you're curious, I really encourage you to reach out, and I'll explain it to you if you're interested in a session. I'd love to do that. Now, is one session going to fix every problem? No, it all depends on what's going on with you, and we'll be able to address that. As you know, I'm a functional life coach, which means I look at all aspects of what's going on. We talk about what's happened, what's happening now, what you want to attain, and we attack it from that point of view. So thank you for listening. I appreciate you listening. Share this video, like this video, ask questions. Please ask questions. I was blown away. When I first heard about it, I'm just pseudoscience, bullshit, whatever. But then when I did the research, it really made sense and it came together. Okay? So I appreciate you watching this. Until we meet again, inhale relaxation, exhale tension, and be well.